Hi there. I have some comments from some of my workouts that some of them are a bit too difficult for some people. My wife's come a long way, but when I first met her, she was not that strong really. So what I'm going to do today is take a workout approach that's designed more for somebody that hasn't had much of a background in working out, but around the house wants to use this time to maybe get a little bit stronger so that they can be more functional. And maybe I really believe in general strength and longevity of the joints as we get older. It does require range of motion with just a little bit of resistance at least to get everything to fire. So just to regenerate the body. So the gear that we're going to use today, we will use the grocery bags with some tins of tomatoes is what I'm choosing. You could use beans if you wanted. It's a variety of culinary delights in cans these days. 2 of those would be handy. A length of towel, a broom if it's handy, but it's not necessary. This is an optional thing, and a chair. So that should really, in a North American household especially, we'll probably have this gear. Okay, so this is my wife, Ilsa.
Hi.
And I'm using her as my my demo model for the day. So it's just going to be a general workout. Again, this is a whole body workout. This is something you could do 2 or 3 times a week. And it's just about functionality, range of motion with the shoulders and the hips especially, and the basic strength of getting in and out of a chair and whatnot, but utilizing that enough that it's a good workout as well. Okay, so we'll begin.
All right.
I'm going to start my wife on her back.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
That'll be fine. And I want you to bring your feet just a little bit further forward from you. And I want you to squeeze the knees together in that position. Bring the feet together as well for me. Very nice. Okay, so we're squeezing the knees here so that our adductors and psoas and lower abs are all really starting to make a connection with one another. We sit a lot, so our feet are laterally rotated a lot. We don't have as much control of the inside. And even to be honest, the gravity does all the work of pulling our foot down, but we have to use the lateral side to pull it up. But the thing is, this hardly ever has to work for stability. So we're going to squeeze together pretty hard there. And while we're squeezing there, we're going to reach up towards the ceiling with open hands. And I want you to widen the hands as much as you can so that you're getting work in the extensors, trying to even open up the palm itself. And instead of coming to the knees, squeeze harder. We're going to try to bring our rib cage straight up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Great form. Fantastic. Up. We'll go for 19, go for 20 of these. 18. Squeeze the knees harder. 17. And keep reminding yourself to squeeze the knees together, keep the lower back pushing into the ground, chest coming up nice and high but ascending directly towards the ceiling, not towards the knees. 10. 9. Squeeze. 8. Atta girl. 7. Open the hands wider. Reach through them. 6. Good. Get through it. 5. If you need to take a break, that's fine. 4. Make sure you're breathing while you're doing this. Exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. And last one, I believe. Up, 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 up. Ah, atta girl.
I was
good.
thinking, like, am I breathing it?
No, that's good. Okay, great. Relax. Excellent job. So we're going to do one more to warm up the abdominal cavity before we move into anything else. This is such an important part of our body. So a lot of people, shove over just one sec for me, hon. So a lot of people found this one was a bit too difficult for them, and I can understand that. That's fine. So we're going to break this down to just the legs. Okay, fingertips into the ground, pushing the lower back into the ground, and we're going to point the toe and just reach out through it as far as we can and pull it back in. So I'll get you to come in here and do that again. Make sure you got enough space for your leg to extend.
A little bit.
Sure. All right, good stuff.
So do I keep my hands up still?
Nope, I want the fingertips
in the
digging
ground?
into the ground. And the reason I want that is I want the palm to be working. I want the fingertips to be working. I want you to start to get connection with the hand and how it works into the shoulder. Roll the shoulders back into the ground. Pull the chin down.
Am I resting my head or keeping it up?
We're just going to rest it right here. Our focus is keeping this pushed into the ground. And you're going to bring your knees up to 90 degrees.
Oh, both at the same time?
Yep, pull the toes back.
I clearly paid attention when you did it.
Squeeze the knees together. Okay,
And
and
then?
now just relax the knees. Now we're going to extend this leg down. Keep the lower back pushing into the ground. Don't let the hips rotate back. Other side. Push it out. Good. Bring it back in. Keep this down into the ground. Keep it low. Excellent. And we'll go just for 10 of these. Flex here a bit harder when you're extending with that leg. Keep this in control. Control. Pull it back in. Good. That's good. Pull the toes back. Push through the heel. Drive through the heel like you're pushing something away. Flex your leg. Come out as far as you can. Totally flex your leg. The next two, I want you to just come to 45. If this is still too hard for you, come up to about this angle. Pull it back in. Next leg. Extend. Extend. Flex the leg. Pull it back in. Extend. Flex the leg. Pull it back in. Push the lower back into the ground. Extend. Flex that leg. Pull it back in. One more each side. We'll call it there. Pull it back in. Other side. Push out. Call it back in. Relax. Okay, so you're getting your legs to work a little bit, but also really controlling the connection between the two halves of your body. Okay, think about really cinching these two things together, driving it into the ground when you're reaching out with the leg. And again, the angle you choose makes it more difficult. Okay, so she's getting pretty strong, so she's able to kick out here pretty well and flex. But if you can't, come up to here. If that's still too hard, even just a kick up to about 70 degrees at least, and then coming back down, you're still going to be working the muscle groups that I want you to work and making the connection between those two parts of our anterior chain. Okay, very nice.
All right.
I'm going to get you to get into a 90-90. So this is basically we just addressed the anterior, which is the front of our body. So now we're going to get into the posterior chain. So this contraction, this is strong. I'm gripping the ground. And I'm going to kick this, move forward just a little bit for me. Great. And just choose one leg and kick it out and point the toe for me. Okay, I'm pointing the toe. I want to flex the hamstring and flex the glute. And then I want to take a deep breath here and create space. And then tighten this up. Exhale. Pull the heel up a little higher. Flex the glute. Don't let it rotate out. Right there. Flex the glute. Flex here. Pull it up higher. Flex here. Good. Just as high as you can. Take another deep breath. Get longer. Not out to the side. Just as far as you can there. Keep this flexed. Good. Good. One more deep breath. Long. Flex. Bring it in slowly. Excellent. Other side. Same thing. Use a mat if you want under your knees. This is good. Better on this side. Don't let it turn like that. Keep it square. Keep the hips square. Get long with the breath. Good. Excellent. Extend. Push through here. Flex. Flex. Contract. Good. Get longer again. Contract. Beautiful. Way better on this side. One more. Deep breath. Lengthen. Exhale. Pull the stomach up. Slowly bring it back in. Slow. Slow. Good. Yeah, that's great. Okay, and you can play with those. You can go back and forth as much as you want. You're really trying to feel the connection between your lower back in through the glute and the hamstrings, especially the insertion points under the glute. You're trying to feel that. I'm flexing my calf as I point the toe when I do that as well, and keeping the abs engaged. Okay, they're not loose. So get into the position one more time. So no point is this loose enough that that's sagging down. Right. This is cinched up the whole time, even when we're taking that breath, creating space. This is still engaged. This is getting tighter and tighter each time. A lot of the work should be here, and the secondary work is the posterior chain coming from about middle back down. Okay?
Okay.
So now that our bodies are nice and warm, we're going to start with some chair squats, which is a really great way to do squats because you have a very nice barometer of how low you should be going. And if you have bad hips or bad knees, you can put as many pillows up on this chair as you want. I'm just going to demonstrate first. So if you need to put more pillows here because you don't have range of motion and you want to start improving that, the way to do that is to make this higher. My feet are going to be out at 60 degrees, and I'm gripping the floor with my feet. And I'm not thinking about my knees coming forward. I'm going to cross my hands over my chest, keep them high, and I'm going to think about sitting down into this. So take a deep breath. And then I'm going to sit slowly down to the chair, and I'm not going to throw my body up. I'm not going to use momentum. I'm going to grip the floor and squeeze through my hamstrings, looking up, bringing the center of my chest up to the ceiling. Squeeze up slow. Go slow. All right, go ahead.
All right.
over the chest. Stop for me. Okay, so she started with a little bit of an arch in her back already. So the first thing I want her to do is take a neutralizing breath, which is just breathing up your back, keeping this nice and strong, cross your hands over your chest, and the hips break before the knees. So the hips break, slowly sit down into this, sit back.
Do I sit down?
Yeah, you can sit down. Okay, you just want to tap it. If you can hold at the bottom, that's great. But if you're not strong enough, you're just going to sit all the way down and you're going to squeeze up, chest comes up, and you can even look up just a little bit. Okay, good, sit, stop, squeeze up, good. So she's a bit stronger, so I'm going to get her to stop right before she sits down. She just has a very good idea of how far down she should be sitting. So go ahead, come down. If you're strong enough, you're going to hold right there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up, squeeze through the glutes. We're really trying to get the hamstrings and the glutes to do most of the work here, and that's a really great finish where she flexes her pelvis forward and makes all this as tall and strong as possible. Don't forget that part of the motion. It's an important one and that often is lost. So keep going. Slow down. Stop. Squeeze the ground. Flexing the hamstrings and the glutes. 5 up. 5. 5.
Oh.
Come up. Come
you
back
meant
down.
5
Come back
reps.
down. Come back down.
Yeah.
Pause. 5 seconds up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Flex. End the motion. Beautiful. Come back down one more time. We're going to hold. 4, 3, 2. Stop. How you holding on? You all right?
I'm fine.
Okay. Hold. Now from this position, if you're strong enough, now we're going to just do some reps, but they're still slow. Come on up for 10 reps. 10. Good. Come down. 9. And if you have to sit down and take a rest between these, that's fine. That's a great place to start. She's just a little stronger than that, and I want to get a bit of a workout here. Good.
Me too.
6 more. Control. Very nice. Control. 3 more. If you can't do any more, then just sit it out. Take a rest. Slowly build up to this many reps. Last one. Come on up to the top. Good. Relax. I want you to sit down. Get as tall as you can. Yeah, let's do this from the side, actually. We better do this from the side. Okay, great. Okay, so if she has to use this, so if you have to lean back because you're not strong enough, it's still a good place to start from, and it's still a really great exercise for you to start to do. But for her, she's strong enough. I want her to be using her core muscles and her hip flexors to keep her body upright and not use the aid of something to lean against. So take a deep breath, get tall here. You can go 1 leg at a time or 2 legs at a time. She's going to go 1 leg at a time to begin off, and then we'll go to 2. Okay, so right leg first. Extend.
This?
Yeah, get tall with the breath. And try to bring this up as high as you can. Flex here harder. Push out through the heel. Flex hard.
Can I hold here?
You can hold there if you have to. It's better to not. If you're leaning back against the back, I would prefer you not to. Good. And now just let this bend for 5 reps. Keep the knee high. Extend like you're kicking somebody away. Good. 5, 4, nice and high. 3, we're locking that out, flexing hard at the end. And 1 more. Flex. Good. Relax. Other side. Bring it up. Flex all the way from here out. Push my hand away. Okay, we're going for that kind of flexion, and we're trying to keep it as high as we can. It's a 10-second hold, or as long as you can. Okay, play around with it. Bending just at the knee, keeping it nice and high. Go ahead. Just do 5. Flex, flex. Good. 4. Good. Kick my hand away. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let it come back down. Okay, you're going to go and do another set on each side if you're doing singles. She's going to show you how to do doubles. Doubles is going to be more work in the core as well because it's having to pull both up off the ground. If you're a drummer, this is a great one because so much of the time you're sitting on the stool with your legs up in the air. It gives you all that strength and stability in a controlled way. Learn those pathways better. It definitely improves your drumming. Okay, so we're going to go both legs at a time. If you want to bring your knees together, that's fine. I always like a bit of tension inside the knees if possible. So bring them up, the knees up nice and high. No, we're just going to bring just the knees up this time.
I don't know what
For
you
this
mean.
side. I just want your knees to come up here.
Like so?
Yeah. Get nice and strong, okay? And we're going to point the toes this time, which is going to change the flexion on the quad. And so just extend and lock it out. Lock it out. Slowly bring it back in. Good. Good. And again, you can go one at a time. You can bring them down a little bit lower. This is an advanced position. You could easily go from the bottom and let it rest on the ground in between. Do a couple of reps like that for me. Just bring your knees down. So it's the easier position right here. And start from about here. Go ahead. Kick out. Flex. Bring them back down. Okay, so it's a little easier the lower you come. I want your knees to be about here if you can. Good. Go ahead. And we'll end that with the 6.
Whoa.
Go. 5.
Cramp in my feet.
4, good. 3, good. You saw her correction there, bringing that chest nice and high. 2, and we're going to hold the last one for 5 seconds. Come on out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax down. Good. So again, it's really serving the purpose of getting the two halves of our body to talk to each other, right? Okay? Good. So I'm going to get you to stand up again, and from the side, I'm going to get you to do another set of squats. So the legs should be getting pretty tired here. If you don't have much left in your legs, you can sit this one out, but it's good to go back and forth between these two things. So the quads are still going to be working for this, but again, I'm trying to get the focus to be in the posterior chain here. Nice stability from all the way down the back of the body, okay? Grip the floor. Slow. Pause above it. Pause, pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, up. Okay, we're going to come down again, slow. Pause. And we're going to slow on the way up for a count of 5. Is 3, 2, 1. Okay, come down and hold again. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to go for 10 reps. Just 10 controlled reps. 10. Good. Squeeze up. Excellent. 9. Good. Hips break before the knees. 8, better. Good, up. Nice control, 7. She's keeping her chest nice and high, which is good. You can look upwards if you like, that will change it as well for the better. And 3 more, I think, right?
I forgot to count.
Yeah. 2 more. Those look really good. And last one. Excellent. Very good job. Okay, those look really good. So now we're going to give our legs a little bit of a rest. And we're going to work our shoulders. So, especially for some of the older people, I find a lot of older people have lost a lot of shoulder mobility. A lot of times it's the traps are doing bad work. They're pulling the shoulders in so they don't have much mobility. So we're going to sit down on this chair and we're going to grab a towel that's shoulder width apart. And I'm pulling apart with, I don't know, about 50% of my power. It's not as much as I can. It's about 50%. And from there, I'm going to very slowly feel the range of motion of my shoulders pulling up above my head. My feet are pushing into the ground. My stomach's tight. I'm going to pull it up and back behind my head as much as I can. Some people it might be just about here. It's fine. Okay, if that's where it is, that's where your work is from. But what you're trying to do is rotate the shoulder blades and let that come all the way back so your chest starts to open as well. And then we're going to start taking deep breaths here. And opening just a little bit more, and we're just going to move left and right. Left and right. Okay, so I'm going to get you to do that same thing. Open your feet a little bit for me and drive down through the heels. That's nice. Tight stomach. Go ahead. We're pulling apart here with about 50% of our strength. We're going to come up here, and I'm really going to let this start to rotate back, and I'm trying to open the chest as much as I can. Take a deep breath. Pull this up and back. Open up a little bit more, and now start moving left and right a little bit. Beautiful. Excellent. And we're trying to rotate the shoulder blades back here like so. Okay, we're rotating, rotating. That's pretty good. Nice. Rotate the other way. Just a few times. Open all that up as much as you can. and still keep a bit of tension here. Okay, we're still pulling. So this is still working these muscles, but working them in range of motion. Okay, slowly bring it out to the front. And you're going to start right there, and you're going to pulse 5 times, squeezing back here, trying to open the shoulders. 4, good. 3, squeeze out. 2, hold this one. 10, 9, squeeze here. 8, beautiful. 7, 6, she's trying to pull this apart. 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Now pull them up as high as you can above your head. Good. Take a deep breath, just straight above the head, not behind it this time. Maybe slightly ahead. Take a deep breath and get tall. And use down here. And again, we're just going to pull this apart with about 70% of our powers. 9, 8, 7, flex here. 6, 5, good. 4, beautiful. 3, 2, relax. Come back down to the front. Here. Atta girl. Let the elbows soften just a little bit. Pull it apart again. Hold for 10. Isometrics. Really flexing here. I'm really like pretending I'm pulling something apart. Nice and hard. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, good. I can feel her back flexing up as well. You should get as much of that back bend as you possibly can. Relax. Up above the head again. Good. Take a deep breath. Pull them apart here. You can let the elbows bend a little bit. Pull them apart. Flex, flex. 8, 7, 6. More here. 5. Good. 4, 3, 2. Relax. Let it come back down. Good. So you should have been feeling that through the posterior chain, the back of the shoulders, and down into the lats and the serratus down in here, which are all have so much responsibility for shoulder range of motion, right? It's all of this is responsible for moving our shoulders. Okay. So she's going to stay there in that same position. The shoulders should be nice and warmed up. She's going to grab her 2 grocery bags. And you're going to grab them overhand, sorry, babe. And you're going to do lateral raises here. Okay? So if you're having the same problem, like she's, hold on a sec. If you're having the same problem she is, where the handles are too long, okay? You can tie them up like so. So you've got a shorter handle, or if you want to work on nice grip strength, grip the bag. Okay? So she's just going to grip the bag because she needs to work on her grip strength.
Yes, I do. Okay.
Nice strong grip, and we're going to go lateral raises so my pinky comes slightly higher, and I'm trying to lead with the elbow. The wrists don't come above the elbows. I'm trying to pull the elbows up in the air as much as I can. Go ahead, come back down. Nice and tall here again. The shoulders are back, they're not forward. Ah, that's beautiful right there. You just want them right in the center. Go ahead. 10, 9, excellent. 8, watch this side. Go. 7, if you can do it in front of a mirror, you'll get way more out of this. If even a small mirror, as long as you can see how your shoulders are moving, you'll notice most people have one moving differently than the other. You're really trying to get them to move as symmetrically as possible. 3, atta girl. 2, 1 more. 1, good. Put it down. She's going to stay in the same position, and she's going to roll this up and grab one bag like so. Go ahead, grab the other one. That's a good idea. And from here, I'm not leaning forward, pulling up like this. I'm pulling my chest open so my shoulders are back, and I'm trying to use my clavicular chest here to squeeze as much as my front delt. And I'm just going to pull up in front of the shoulders and hold. Hold. Up in front of the shoulders and hold.
Should I straighten my elbows more?
Your elbows?
That came out
From
weird.
Texas? No, this is actually a great bend in.
Good,
Okay?
okay.
And I just want you to get this involved a little bit more. So let this open a little bit. Okay, so even she wants to put her shoulders forward, I want them back a little bit, and we're keeping that shelf working as well. Hold. Okay, about 15 seconds, and then we're going to go down and up for 10, slow and controlled. Go ahead. Keep the shoulders back. Back, right there. 10, better. 9, good. Shoulders back, focus. 8, good. 7, you look fine.
I'm checking my shoulders.
6, 5, one back. 4, 2. What's your effort level?
Not very high
Okay,
yet.
up, hold. So her effort level is not that high. So we're going to do another round of this holding for 15, and we'll do another set of 10. We could also throw a few more cans in here. I'm just moving by to show you the actual movement, but if she can handle more weight, use more weight. About another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly for 10.
I always have a hard time keeping my shoulders back.
Yeah, most people do. We're very pronated here. It's very difficult for people to get their back, to pull their shoulders back, but they should. Everything should really be a lot further back than most of us have it. 5 more. 4, good. 3, 2, good. And last one. 1. So for her that was a cakewalk, but we should have just added maybe both bags. So if you found the first set was really easy with one bag, just grab your other bag as well and just put both hands together. Grab them separately is fine. Okay, so I'm going to get her to go through both those exercises one more time. Your lateral raises again.
Okay. This really ghetto.
Okay, so we're going to let them relax down, and we're squeezing here. Go ahead. Good. 11. 10. 9. That looks good. 8. This is all nice and tight. 7. Driving through the heels. Very nice. Her shoulders are staying back, really in line with the shoulder girdle. 4.
Ugh.
Get it. 3, good. 2, if you can use you can use a little momentum at the end if you want. Good. Last one. Excellent. Okay, now grab them both. Not too much rest here. And in front of us, well, I'm going to get her to use both of those bags.
I'm going to be embarrassed if I can't do it.
Okay, she's driving through the heels. This is still a strong structure. It's not loose, especially in the where the hips making the connection to the rest of the body. This is all nice and engaged. Okay, go ahead, up and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 10 reps. 10, up, 9. And I mean, you can really adjust the rep range and the amount of times that, the length of time that you're holding it up as to your, according to your strength, right? But it's just a motion that you should get used to being able to hold up and have motion in the shoulders pulling that up. These look great. And I think 2 more, right?
No, 5 more, but
Really? 5?
I can do 2. I can do 2. It's fine.
Okay. 2, good, call it.
Okay.
So that was a lot better for her, adding just a little bit of extra weight. Challenge yourself here. You know, this is still pretty light resistance. You're not going to hurt yourself. All right, great. I'll have you stand up.
All right.
Another great one you can do around the house, and again, you can experiment with the range of motion you have depending on your hips and knees. But even just getting a little bit of this motion with control will really benefit your forward motion and your reverse motion. So if you have a broomstick and you have enough shoulder mobility, it's great to be able to put everything back here because it keeps your chest up. Okay, so this is basically lunges, but I'm thinking more about range of motion and control I have through that range of motion. So I'm not just bouncing out reps. I'm starting at the top. I'm gripping with my foot thoughtfully, my toes as well. And instead of letting my knee just come forward, I'm still thinking about sitting down as my knee comes forward, keeping my chest right over my hips, okay? And I'm going to hold at the bottom of my range of motion and grip a little bit harder. And I'm just going to hold that as long as I can. And if you're up here, that's fine. That's where you can start, but you're hoping to eventually build yourself to here. So we're going to hold those, and we'll do 1 set with, 1 set without.
To the side here.
If you don't have the shoulder range of motion to use the broom, then just cross your hands over your chest is fine. Okay? So come down and hold. I want you to open your feet and grip with them a little bit more. Yeah, right, especially under the big toe. And that's not bad. It's slightly toed up, but that's okay. I can do it. Hold, and now we're going to do 10 slow reps on the way up. Go ahead. Good. 10. Come back down. 9. Good. 8. 7. Yeah, it's a good motion. 6. Feel like Ivy's gripping your foot against the floor. It's a really hard grip on the floor. 5, 4, chest up. 3, and just back a little bit. Keep the stomach tighter. 2, good. 1, up to the top. Is that enough for you? Okay, so we'll call it there for that set.
Other side.
You can add or take it too. Now I typically don't go directly from one side to the other because the back quad was working that whole time, so it's a bit fatigued to come forward already. But what we are going to do is we're going to grab that chair again in the meantime from the back, and we're going to work on hip mobility, which is the second biggest issue I have with most of my older clients or clients that haven't been very active for most of their life. Shoulders are forward and they don't control this, and their hips are typically back behind them, but they don't hinge at the hips, they hinge at their back for everything. So we're going to grab this chair and we're going to grip with our feet, and we're using this for balance, and we're going to let our hips come back nice. I can actually step back from the chair a little bit more. I have quite a bit of hip range, but we're going to just push our hips back and try to hinge with as flat a back as possible and not let this happen with our back. So I'm really trying to bring my chest forward and push my hips back while I do that. Once we get into that position, we're going to grip here. Hamstring should already be working in a stretched, long, elongated position, which I want, and they should be starting to feel this already. They're doing most of the work, as long as you're not doing that. Chest is up. Make sure you have a mirror for this one. And we're going to take a deep breath in our chest. And on exhale, I'm going to push my hips away from my ribs a little bit further. If you don't need this, and you can do this just with your hands forward, that's great. But if you need the chair, use the chair. Go ahead.
Okay. I think you've kind of already showed it, but...
Okay. Yeah, this is a better angle for them probably though. Okay, so I want your feet way closer to the chair. Good. And now the knees are a little bit more bent than this. And we're not bringing our chest down that far. What we're trying to do is create distance here. We're trying to push those back and elongate the hamstrings. So I'm gripping the ground, especially under my big toe, and I'm not curling the toe up like that. I'm gripping with the open, flat foot, pushing through the center of the foot. Tilt this in a bit. Grip harder under here, under the big toe. Under the big toe, the knuckle of it, push down. Yes, perfect. Okay, so under the knuckle of the big toe is what you want to be pushing down through the heel. And I want you to push the hips back even further. Take a deep breath and bring the chest forward and up a little bit. And start to create as much tension here in the hamstring as you possibly can. Push your hips back and up. Back, back. Grip the floor harder. Take another deep breath. Bring the chest forward. Flex here. Grip and flex. Flex hard, hard.
It's pretty flex to me.
Yeah, that's good. We're working on it.
Okay.
Okay, the knees can bend just a bit more here. Now flex here a bit harder. Good. 3 more deep breaths, trying to pull the ribs away from, creating as much space here as you can. Pull the ribs away from the hips. Under the big toe, grip a bit harder. Flex here harder, push them back. Okay, 1 more deep breath, 1 more deep breath. Okay, slowly come up to a neutral position. Okay, so you can do that as much as you want. It's a great way to strengthen up the posterior connection through the 2 halves of our body. We could do that a few more times if we wanted.
Okay.
So lastly, what we're going to end with here is the grocery bags, which are over here. Good. And we're going to come up, and now we're just going to try to bring these in front of the chest and bring it back. And I'm really not worried about the weight here. I just want the amount of weight you can do that you can control. So if you're really not working out very much, or you're not used to this, let me get a couple of cans of the same size, you could even just grab the cans like so. All right? And from here, I'm wanting to rotate at the shoulder, not the wrist. I'm rotating at the shoulder and trying to stay long in the chest. Rotating at the shoulder, staying long in the chest. So I'm going to rotate here 10 times. And then I'm going to stop in this position and tap in front of me, and open, but I'm not staying here. I'm trying to open by flexing my back and pulling back as much as I can. And we're going to go open and close 10 times, ebb and flow of the rib cage.
Gonna do it with the cans?
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent. Take a deep breath, get long. Rotate at the shoulder, not the wrist, 10 times. Grip with your pinky a bit more. Make sure your pinky's working here, guys. Ring fingers and pinkies are weak in most people. Grip with it. Good. Rotate here. Excellent. 8. Rotate here more, less wrist. 7. Good. 6. 5. Good. 4. Beautiful. Rotate here more. 3. Excellent. 2. 1. Back. Good. And now we're closing and opening. So squeezing here and then squeezing back here to open. Close the chest. Open. 3. Good. Grip a little harder. Strong wrists. 4. 5.
My hands are smaller than yours. It's slipping out.
6. Good. Still good for your grip. 7. 8. 9. And last one.
It's gonna fall out.
10.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. Okay, so that's a great just kind of all body, getting the main important joints that have the largest range of motion to just open up a little bit. And so if you're older or you just haven't done any working out for a long time or you've never been that active, this is a great place to start with just a few things that will get you in touch with your body a little bit more to make some of the other workouts we have up at this point less insurmountable. So I hope you have a great day, and thanks for checking us out. Subscribe if you like what you saw, and have a great one.